What's poppin', y'all? It looks like DDG's music career is getting disrespected once again, and it's from one of his own peers that I wouldn't say he brought into the streaming industry, but that's hopping into his lane where he dominates. And it's by none other than Sauce Walka, who's been going at it back and forth with not just DDG, but also Drake, getting shots thrown at him in the past couple of months. So he took a little bit of aim when his homie got DDG's music mentioned by one of the fans.
Here we go.
DDG made it. Bro, DDG I don't consider DDG a rapper though, bro. I know he makes songs.
He's not a rapper.
That's why because they talking about DDG made this.
He was a YouTuber first.
Yeah, I consider DDG like a streamer, YouTube, like, I don't consider him a rapper like Sauce Walka.
He's a YouTuber.
Blueface, Finesse Two Times, like, yeah. I know DDG can rap though, but I'm talking about real rappers.
Yeah, YouTuber, like I'm not a streamer.
Right.
So you could take this how you want it. I wouldn't take this as a diss in terms of intention. You can tell that these guys clearly didn't want to insult DDG. They were just saying like, yeah, I don't really look at him as a rapper. He was a streamer first, and that's all fine and well, or he was a YouTuber first. But what do we consider Sauce Walka? Or a Finesse Two Times? That's where I find things a little bit odd, and we're going to get into that in a moment, because Sauce Walka, and this is just to demonstrate that Sauce Walka wasn't necessarily disrespecting DDG or had any intention of dissing him, because he's previously shown love to DDG.
Okay. Ex him.
I ain't calling none of them hoes. No disrespect. You don't f me. I don't know them streaming niggas, man. Them streaming niggas, I'm gonna treat them, man. Them streaming niggas don't f with me, man. I don't know them niggas. No disrespect. But I'm just saying, on the stream niggas f me on some bullshit. DDG. Salute to DDG. I f with DDG. You know what I'm talking about? Every time. And my original streaming niggas, but they YouTube niggas to me before the streaming.
So he messes with DDG, but DDG would respond to this.
How do I word this? I hate when like try to discredit my making music skills when I got all these accolades. I know I've been humble for a little minute. I'm finna start popping it on niggas because I just don't know why they even be saying certain. So that's why I dropped some songs. I'm gonna just start dropping more because obviously I do a lot of the streaming, so a lot of people see the streaming and everything I do go viral. So it's easy for us to forget that it's go platinum, gold. Been there, done that all the time. It's like, yeah, I've been on for the last year and a half. The streaming it took off because I put my mind to it. But now it's like, I'm tired of playing with me, huh?
I'm in full agreement with DDG here. He needs to start popping it, especially on people like these guys. Because if we look at Finesse Two Times, let's pull up some plaques, right? Because that guy is Sauce Walka's homie, so he's going to yes man him a little bit. And I would say that primarily, I knew Sauce Walka as a rapper. I discovered Sauce Walka partially because the whole drip from my walk. So a little bit of context here. Rewind 10, 11 years or so. Laka Films, who was a videographer. Dude, the videographer scene in Chicago in the 2010s was something that they need to do some sort of a Netflix documentary on. But for Laka Films, he was with Famous Dex, and Famous Dex had this poppin' song. Famous Dex was just blowing up like crazy, called Drip From My Walk. Sauce Walka starts going back and forth with Famous Dex because he's saying like, yo, you took from my swag, like that whole drip thing, that's my thing. That's what I was doing. And he was right. And that's how I discovered Sauce Walka's music. So I started paying attention to a little bit of Sauce Walka. But to be honest, Famous Dex at that point was making better music. This is how you get familiar with Sauce Walka. And then he has managed to reinvent himself multiple times. When we're talking about even music, Sauce Walka currently, yeah, he's going to do more numbers than a Famous Dex. So he's outlasted him. Just goes to show whoever's got it hot at the moment doesn't mean that they're going to sustain it. So you might just have to bide your time and you'll end up having a longer career. With that being said, Sauce Walka, I see him as a rapper, or I saw him initially as a rapper, but right now I don't know what Sauce Walka is. Sauce Walka's music hasn't done anything for a very long time. I see Sauce Walka as a personality, more of a Houston. I see Sauce Walka as a Houston personality. But if we take a look at plaques, which is, it's a great thing to measure if we're talking about a music career, right? Sauce Walka has a grand total of 0, none, zilch. Nada. If we take a look at DDG, DDG's got multiple plaques. DDG has 3 golds and he's got a platinum currently. There might be others that are able to get certified or like higher certification than they currently got, but I'm geeking his gold. Obviously Moonwalking in Calabasas with Blueface is platinum. I think this might be 2 times platinum or 3 times platinum at this point. Hood Melody with OG Parker with Youngboy, that one is gold. And Arguments, I think that was the first song that he got signed by, and that one is gold. Now, let's take a look at Finesse 2 Times, because Finesse 2 Times is a very interesting case as well. Finesse 2 Times, he's got 2 golds and a platinum. So Finesse 2 Times is a lot more of a successful rapper than, not DDG, I would say, than Sauce Walka. And we also got to keep in mind, DDG's music still hits. Like, people are still fans of DDG's music. It's not the same as a Speed, though, because some people will say, well, Speed's got a bunch of monthly listeners. He performed at the World Cup. Are you going to talk about his music career? Although Speed isn't much of a rapper. He kind of just makes music for fun. I look at those two distinctly because people are fans of strictly DDG music and DDG content. People are not really fans of Speed. And the reason why I say that is because Speed would not be able to sell out a tour that's just him playing music. No like meet and greet thing, just the music. DDG did that on stream. And the venues that he was selling out, I think he was doing 500 person venues or so. Maybe I think 1,000 in one of the cities. I don't think that a Sauce Walka would be able to do that, or a Finesse 2 Times would be able to do that. I think these guys, they just do the club circuit, they do appearances, but to pull out hard ticket sales at a show, I don't see that happening. And DDG, he recently just dropped a surprise freestyle. And I posted about this on my X. I said, DDG surprise freestyle gets over 100K organic views in only 16 hours. He also announces his Hit-a-thon 2, the event where he creates a full album on live stream with many guests pulling up to record. The first time he did this was last year. Early in 2025, he had people like Shabuzi pull up. He had Kevin Gates pull up. I think that's where the infamous clip of Brittany Renner just moving through like a cloak happened. And a bunch of different artists. And he made an album live on stream over, I think, was it a month long? Regardless, 100K in less than a day. I think it ended up doing 150. I don't know if it ended up doing 200. It doesn't matter. These numbers are huge because keep in mind, this isn't the primary place people consume music anymore. So people probably saw this freestyle on IG or they saw it on TikTok and that was enough. So the views are fragmented, similar to, this is a different conversation, but about music videos and how music videos now, most of them are lower in views than what we saw in 2018, 2019, because there are so many different places to watch them. Like people will watch a segment of a music video and then prefer to listen to it on Spotify. So it's not going to get the music video the same amount of views, but we're deviating a little bit back on track. And he announces his Hit-a-thon too. So for DDG, this guy's demonstrated that he is a successful artist. Will I say that I consider DDG a rapper? Primarily, no, because if you are primarily a rapper, you are rapping most of the time. However, DDG, I just see him as not even a jack of all trades. He's kind of like the Thanos, if you think about it. I know I've never watched a Marvel's movie, but you know, the guy that collects all the stones of content creation, that's a DDG. He's killing it. Some people see DDG as the Snapchat guy. Some people see DDG as the live stream guy. That's where most of his content comes. Some people see DDG as the vlog guy. Some people see DDG as like Blueface's homie. So DDG is just everywhere, except for acting. I guess that's the only thing that he hasn't touched, which I think he will eventually go to in the future when he's a little bit older, probably like in his mid 30s. Right now, he's just capitalizing on every trend. But this guy, you cannot discredit his music career if you're a Sauce Walka. Because what do we consider Sauce Walka right now at this very moment? I'm looking at Sauce Walka like, I don't know. Because his stream is not hitting like that. Like, his streams aren't going platinum or gold. He's got like 187 people in there. So DDG was able to go into Sauce Walka's world and lap him, get a gold and a platinum record, which he was never able to do, go on a full-on tour. Yet Sauce Walka came into streaming and he's not really doing much on his own. Like, yeah, when he shows up as an appearance, he'll get a couple of clips here and there, but I'm talking about live streaming, sustaining a live audience, not farming clips on a live stream. Those are two completely different things. So yeah, I do think DDG needs to pop it more on people within his industry, because I think the normal average person that's just following this stuff, they don't have that stigma anymore of YouTube rapper. because that was partially started by the whole wave that was going on in 2017, 2018 of diss tracks and Logan Paul's and Jake Paul's and Rice Gums, who were stinkers with music. Well, actually, Jake Paul, ironically enough, dropped the best song out of all of those guys, including Rice Gum. Rice Gum was just a stinker, didn't absolutely terrible. You had to be 10 or 11 to be like, nah, man, Rice Gum was actually hard. No, he was one of the worst rappers of all time. And it's not about his lyrics. It's just the guy there's just some people that don't got it, and he don't got it. It's like they say like the it girl. Do they say it boy? I don't know. But he was the not it guy for rap. So yeah, DDG, but this is a good temperature check though, because these guys, especially the guy that's like, yeah, man, we're listening to Finesse 2 times. That tells you the temperature of DDG in these streets, which I don't think they're really listening to his music other than Moonwalking. And this guy even said like, oh, we know you to be with Blueface, or we consider Blueface a real rapper. Dog, Blueface is a streamer. When was the last time Blueface's music did anything? Now, granted, Blueface did recently go on tour with a couple of other people on the bill, so I don't know how much you can consider that a strictly Blueface tour, but I wouldn't consider Blueface a rapper for at least since he had that one song that was like Another Fatherless Child. Since then, that was what, 4 or 5 years ago? How long ago was that? I wouldn't consider him a rapper. He hasn't dropped an album. Yeah, this guy dropped Free Blueface, which was, I don't know if it was AI generated, but he was locked up when this dropped in 2024. The last album he dropped was Find the Beat 2020. This guy hasn't dropped an album for 6 years, a real album. So yeah, that's the way I look at it. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Should DDG be popping in more? I think he needs to let these people know a little bit more. Start popping his plaque, because that's what people respect. They're like, yo, you see my plaques? How many plaques you got? And of course, it's got to be done in a tactful way. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one.